Dear students, in the previous discussion, we expressed about essay. We came to know that essay is an effort to synthesize, to collect, to gather up our dispersed, bewildered ideas about any topic with a specific point of view, with proper introduction, thesis statement, and the relevant supporting paragraphs so that the reader may understand it properly and we conclude it at a definite point, suggestion, or recommendation is called an essay. Essay is actually an exercise, is you can say is the basic step for more creative, scientific, and synthesized writing. Essays are taught to the students so that they may be good in, they may be get brilliance in composition and target writing. We also discussed some points that before you get into a proper fluent drafting, it's much better to analyze your topic first, make a proper point of view, gather up ideas and concepts, and then state with a thesis, and then adjust the relevant material available to you in a proper paragraphs, and every paragraph must have a proper topic sentence and it should conclude at a definite point. Now we're going to express about the parts of essay. You know that essay writing is not of rigid, inflexible. It is actually an art. It gives you many ways to attempt your writing and gather up your situations. Fine. So there are not rigid, hard and fast rules to write an essay. Yet there are certain guidelines for the new students and the writers to follow those so that they may bring good results in a short time. Thereby, look at the very first thing is introduction. So part of an essay basically are introduction coupled with a strong point of view or thesis statement, then relevant development, mean body paragraphs, and this is the body paragraph is actually your discussion and rendering of the data and information, and finally it is the conclusion. Let's take in brief. A powerful introduction is invaluable. It can engage your reader and can give them confidence that you have thought carefully about the title and about how you're going to address it. A useful generic structure is to begin with a general point about the central issue. Means you should start your essay with a general statements, should not focus on your major point of view. Mean you should adopt simple manner. Show your understanding of the task that has been set, clear, and set the tone and engage the attraction of your audience by involving into the main points. Show how you plan to address the title in your essay structure. Make a link to the first point. Means you should have a specific point program that how you are going to develop your essay. Let me sum up all these points that may be somehow ambiguous for you. An essay must have, number one, introduction statement. It should be general. Number two, theory or history on which that very topic is based. Scope, and plus the line of development, that what are you going to talk about mainly in this, all the stretched afterwards discussion. Clear? That all it is called introduction. Fine. Second thing is body of an essay. Body of an essay, it is written the heart of the essay. It means the body of the essay, the middle part of the essay. This is the discussion. This is the explanation of the data and extension plus your thesis statement. Before I dive into the body of an essay, I must explain the thesis statement, the topic, the main point of view. For example, we take an essay as I expressed in the previous chat. For example, you say that social media is affecting, let's reassess it, that in the wake of COVID-19, social media is creating worst impact by sharing uncertified hilarious news about the uh, spread of the virus, and that likewise is involving more people in the trauma. Thereby, social media should be controlled, only the relevant, valid information be shared. This is your topic sentence. Sorry, this is your thesis statement. That entire your discussion should be made around the social media, the situation of the people, social media, and the information being popped and shared. And all these discussions should be accordingly that you have to prove your point of view. For example, whereas on the other hand, a person is writing that the social media is creating very good and accurate uh, public awareness to stay in home and save ourselves and the others from spreading this uh, virus, should be encouraged, and more people should come up with new ideas and share it on the social media, so that more and more people may get information. So it is another point of view. So every person have to safeguard his or her own point of view, and accordingly it shall contain the information. Well, moving to the other points, these points should be kept in mind. Appropriate academic style, that at the university level, students must follow the appropriate academic style, that it should contain the style we write the reports and the assignments and quizzes. So that should be the style. It should not be a hyperbole style that the reports are used in media. Fine. So the language of media, the language of the sermons and other is different. We have to follow the academic style, because academic style is more relevant to the professional scientific writing and report writing. Number two, interesting and engaging writing. This is, the words are very simple, but to achieve these ends, it's very challenging how you can make your writing interesting and engaging. Over and again, the different techniques are used. Those techniques are the information, the data, choice of your language, choice of words, information, uh, diagrams, illustrations. So there are many things that attract the interest of the audience and engage them uh, in your content. Clarity of thought and expression. This is wonderful. That whatever you are expressing, that must be clear. Number one, it should be conceptually clear. Conceptually clear means, for example, I shared two hypotheses, that to write against the social media in the wake of COVID-19, or to write in favor of the social media. So you must be clear. It should not be like, while you are in the middle of discussion, you are engaged or entangled in the both point of view. Somewhere you are giving side to the one direction, other way you are favor and against. So this influx is not allowed. You must be clear in your idea that which point of view you are going to emphasize, positive or negative. Second thing is clarity of the language, that your words, sentences, paragraphs, these all the stuff must be proper use of the language. Sensible ordering of material. Sensible ordering of material mean whatever the content you have gathered up by listening speech, listening to the interviews, reading newspapers, research papers, fine. all that material that you have gathered up or acquired must be in a sensible ordering. For this ordering, actually, we make the outline. I also have expressed initially that outline is a route map. Outline tells you what to tell, how much to tell, and in what order to tell. What to tell, how much to tell, and in what order to tell. These three things are decided in the outline. Fine. Second, to support and development of the ideas and the development of the arguments. Develop your arguments quite carefully, and while you are developing your arguments, let's see that your arguments are from the statistics based, they are the historical based, they are opinions, they are causes, and whatsoever they are, they must be properly synchronized with the every concept should be supporting to the other concept. And likewise, conclusion. Conclusion is called the final statement, the ending point. The word, sentences, paragraph where one ends one's discussion is called conclusion. Fine. A powerful conclusion, a very handy conclusion that helps the reader summing up the entire discussion and reaching a certain point of view is the valid one. Fine. So conclusion writing is also a technique which is taught to the students separately. Let's see it. A powerful conclusion is a valuable tool. The main aim is to leave your reader feeling that you have done a good job. A generic structure that you may find useful is, there are the few points that you must keep in mind. Brief recap of what you have covered in relation to the essay title and the thesis statement. Fine. Brief recap. Number one, that you should recap, retell the main concepts you introduced in your essay. Reference to the large issue. Link the main thesis statement you have made. Evaluation of the main arguments, and furthermore, you must evaluate the main arguments and highlighting the most important aspect. Let me recap it. For example, I write that in wake of COVID, the discussion in brief, in nutshell, the discussion made about the misuse of social media by the untrained and uneducated people is ultimately spreading confusion. It's the government's duty to control these people, and despite it, let the experts appear and talk to the social media so that panic may be created and confusion may be lessened. Thank you very much.